In 2015, Valve released the Steam Link alongside the Steam controller. You can watch our Steam controller review here. I'll wait. This little box was designed to stream your Steam library of games to any TV on a local network. I'm going to save you some of the rambling and just say it. This little guy is incredible. This isn't going to be so much a review, but a snapshot of the current state of the Steam Link. Valve is constantly updating the device, so it never really feels like a finished product, and that's really awesome. In this video, I'm going to go over its current early 2017 state, such as controllers and audio options, performance, tips, etc. So if you haven't picked up the Steam Link or plan to do so, I hope to give you a thorough understanding of this very impressive device. Before I get started, I wanted to preface my current setup. I have a small home network with two AC Apple Airport Extremes wired together with a Cat5e cable on opposite ends of the house. Everything that can be hardwired is, including the Steam Link and PC. My PC has a GTX 970, quad-core i7 4770 at 3.9 GHz, 16 GB of DDR3 RAM, and a 2 TB hybrid hard drive. At this point in 2017, it is a mid-high range PC. My experience with game streaming has always been mixed, ultimately leaving me disinterested. Microsoft and Sony streaming solutions have all been acceptable with little lag and good picture quality. But the appeal is this. I want to be able to play in my living room on a couch, and that's where my PS4 and Xbox already sits. So why stream my console games to a computer at my desk? To me, that's a place for my keyboard and mouse, not a controller. When I first picked up my Steam Link, I knew they were good, but had no idea they were that good. The simple setup had me plug in the power, Ethernet, HDMI, and a controller. In my case, I use the Steam controller wireless receiver, which can then be removed once the controller is paired. Since the Link is on the same network as my PC running Steam, I can select it in the Select Computer Running Steam screen, enter the pairing pin back on the host PC, and you're done. Within a few minutes of setting up and firing up a game, I could honestly not tell that it was being streamed. If I get close enough to the screen, I can see little compression artifacts, but I'm not sitting 1 foot away from a 65-inch screen, now am I? There is no lag. Seriously. Okay, there has to be some lag. The input from the controller has to be transmitted from the Steam Link to the PC through the network. The PC interprets the input and change on the screen is encoded and compressed, and back through the network to the Steam Link, decoded, decompressed, and then displayed on the TV. This happens so fast it's unperceivable. Seriously, on top of it all, it's running at 60 frames per second at 1080p. What kind of black magic is this? Let's look at some tests, shall we? Once again, let me preface, I have a pretty good home network. It's nothing extreme by any stretch, so my tests are real world and will most likely apply to the average Joe. I performed a couple baseline tests at the big picture mode screen at idle. My stream settings were set to beautiful quality and represent the most network and hardware demanding options available. All results had max bandwidth used, less than 1 millisecond input latency with increases of streaming latency and ping time the more I relied on Wi-Fi. For reference, streaming latency is the time from when the PC reacts to input until it shows up on the TV. The ping is how fast the communication is to the network. The best results being all wired with 15.4 milliseconds display latency and less than 1 millisecond of ping time. These are just baseline numbers. What really matters is the comparison between the best and worst case scenarios I can put the Steam Link through. Here you can see me play Doom on a fully wired and wireless setup. Doom is very fast-paced and any lag should be highly noticeable. On the Wi-Fi test, you can see that compared to the big picture mode at idle, in-game is significantly higher and more erratic ping time and latency, hovering around 8.5 milliseconds and 50 milliseconds respectively. The wired test is much more tame with a consistent less than 1 millisecond ping and 26 millisecond display latency. As a testament to the Steam Link, the wireless test had noticeable lag compared to the wired, but was perfectly playable and acceptable. Remember, this is all done with a beautiful streaming setting, and changing it to fast or balanced would even pull better numbers. In my case, I've never had to lower it. Almost every USB wired controller with X input or direct input support, including the 360 controller, 360 wireless receiver, Xbox One, Wii U Pro, PS4 and PS3 controllers work with a Steam Link. Wireless Bluetooth controllers like the PS3, PS4, and Xbox One Bluetooth controllers, Steam controller obviously, wired wireless Bluetooth keyboard and mice. Anything that doesn't work via USB, such as the Xbox One wireless receiver, will work with the purchase of the Virtual Hear software through Steam for $20. Virtual Hear sends USB signals back to the host PC to make the PC think that the device is physically plugged in. At the end of 2016, Valve finalized the support of the DualShock 4 controller as an official Steam controller. It contains the same mapping abilities as the actual Steam controller, and even shows the square, triangle, circle, and cross buttons in big picture mode and in supported games. For more information on compatible controllers, see the link in the description below. While streaming, the Steam Link is mirroring what is being displayed on the host PC. However, the host PC's audio is muted and routed to the Steam Link. Audio is outputted to the TV via HDMI. Bluetooth audio is supported and must be connected to the Steam Link prior to streaming. USB headsets, sadly not Bluetooth ones, are currently supported. One of the biggest downsides to the Steam Link is Windows locking the host PC. Let's say your computer is on all the time. Eventually it goes to sleep, thus locking itself. The Steam Link does not send credentials to the PC, so you have to unlock it before you start to stream. To circumvent this, you can use programs like TeamViewer to connect to your computer remotely, log in, then disconnect. Just make sure the Lock Remote Computer when disconnecting option is disabled in those programs. In my tests, the fastest yet most power-hungry way to overcome the locked desktop scenario is to set the power options and control panel to never go to sleep. That way you log in when the PC starts and you're set for the next time you wish to stream. As of now, Steam controllers on the Steam Link have the ability to send special inputs to the remote computer while holding down the Steam/Home button. Valve calls this the Steam button cord. Inputs such as the Windows Alt-Tab is done by pressing the Home button and Start button at the same time. You can use the mouse controls with the Home plus right pad and Home plus triggers for the mouse clicks. So why does this matter? It allows you to use the Steam controller as a keyboard/mouse input and a gamepad at the same time. Because of this, it helped me out with launchers and non-Steam games. If you've tried a game with a launcher in big picture mode, you may have found that Steam sends inputs to both windows, even if it's not the screen you're currently in. So when you click the Home button, it opens the Steam overlay on both the launcher and the game, and all inputs go to both, causing unwanted button presses. Here is my solution that I've used for Origin and Battle.net that utilizes the Steam button cord inputs. I've added Battle.net and Origin launchers to Steam as non-Steam games. I click the launcher in big picture mode. When the launcher opens, I then use the Steam button cord mouse inputs to start the game. Once the game loads, I use the Steam button Start to Alt-Tab, close the launcher, then Steam button mouse and click back into the game. Boom. Side note, if you wish to play Origin games, add the Origin program to Steam, not the individual games. Then make sure in Application Settings to disable Origin in-game on the Origin in-game tab. That will mess with the game's loading while in big picture mode. And under the Application tab, have Show Origin After Game unchecked. This will help Steam properly load Origin again if you were playing an Origin game earlier in your streaming session. The Steam Link does more than just play games. If you minimize big picture mode, you can use the PC's desktop. Keyboard and mouse inputs are the same, and the Steam controllers go into Desktop Configuration Control Scheme. There's also a setting under the Streaming section where you can choose to start streaming the desktop instead of the big picture mode. Even if you never use the Steam Link for gaming, it could be a standalone remote desktop for, let's say, a kitchen computer without the need of a second computer. Quite handy. This has been an early 2017 update of a very impressive device that keeps changing through frequent firmware updates. If you're one of those people who have thought about bringing their PC into their living room, it's totally worth your time. Excuse me while I buy another one for my bedroom.